Arrivederci and welcome back to another video on this channel. My name is Rex and I participate, I don't know why, in the third season of the UGA, the Universal Gaming Association, as the team ANTIMAX WARRIOR. And we're doing a little different this season, I have to admit that. I mean, nearly everybody which saw my card or my team currently is maybe has got an idea what I'm trying to do. Let's give a little insight what happened and why I participate now, because from the beginning I just said no, I don't want to participate because it's an Dynamax format and I fucking hate it. So I decided at the end of the participation period, so I just asked in the community chat, is there any spot left? So the main communication was, okay, all spots are filled. You can participate maybe, or you can just fill the form to be a substitute participant. Okay, so I thought, okay, maybe then I can just jump in week 5 or so when someone drops because he has no chance to reach the playoffs or so. You never know. And then nothing funny happened. I think 2 days later, one of the mods just reached to me and asked, hey, do you want to just jump right through the Sinnoh division, because 1 or 2 people I thought dropped, and I thought to myself, do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? And then I had an idea that, okay, I hate Dynamax. It's a monster of a gimmick, a mechanic. So I thought, what what would be if I can make a challenge, an anti-max challenge. So I try not to Dynamax and to beat my opponent that way. How would that be? So I had an idea of a draft plan, so I just wanted to draft 6 Pokemon for sure, and then the other 5 I've left, I was pretty free to pick something that just is tanky enough and has recovery or so. That was the main goal, to go for that route. Hopefully it doesn't the voice is not too broken on this video. I'm not sure. We'll see. Yeah, so I thought to myself, okay, then let's make this ANTIMAX challenge. And another division is cool as well, because a lot of people. What? Okay. A lot of people I know already from the Kalos division, so I wish all of them a good luck. Every new and every old ones. And so I thought, okay, new division is cool, not gonna lie, if the time zones are not too big of a problem. I'm not sure yet if it will be, because the battling times could be problematic for me, because I have only a time frame of, let's say, 5 hours to make the battles, but I think we can figure something out. So I dropped in. I jumped into a division of, I think, 5 or 6 different time zones, but I think the time difference are probably 12 hours or so in most cases. Some people are in the same time zone, of course, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, because the draft went pretty fast for a slow draft, in my opinion, so we did very well. And of course, we're here from the beginning on. Okay, so I will say I get sniped 12 times, and 4 of this Pokemon were from my big 6 I planned originally. So I had to figure something out, change something, and so on. And you will see now what happened to me. Yeah. So, wait a second. So, we're in the Sinnoh division, you can see. Okay, so this is my team. for the third season of the UGA Sinnoh division, and I would say it's by far, it's not even close, the most tanky team I have ever drafted. And the funny part here is I hate 9 out of 11 Pokemon here. Design wise, I totally hate. I love kinda Mantine and Jellicent, and all of the others I think I would never ever pick those if I would choose a team, or I would pick a team that would kind of fit to my playstyle more, because this is not my playstyle, not at all. I hate that. I totally hate that. But like I said, to beat a monster, you maybe have to become a monster, and that was the main purpose, to make the most bulky team I can think of. Like I said, I would just love to have Celesteela here, Stakataka, Blastoise that were originated or planned for the team, and kind of Umbreon, but yeah, it didn't gonna happen, and Suicune and so on and so forth. But I had to find some substitutes for them, so this is what finally came out by picking Pokemon. But we have some interesting modes here, I think. Overall, of course, it's a kind of tanky team, you can tell. I think Reggie Steele is probably one of the, not even, maybe the best Pokemon I drafted for the team, because Reggie Steele overall has pretty awesome defensive stats. Okay, so I think 80 HP, 150 def, 150 bat stat. What? Let's have a look. Just wanna have a short look, because I'm not sure 100%. I just knew that Reggie Steele, because of his resistances, is a little bit better than Umbreon, and has better stats, of course. So Reggie Steele only had 3 weakness, 80 HP, 150. Yeah, of course. So and it has clear body and light metal. So, but overall, it's a little bit better than Umbreon, because it has a lot of more resistances and on immunity to poison. Pretty good. It's pretty stable, and his setup abilities to increase his stat def and his def is pretty awesome. So I can just buff the big guy to the max, and maybe heal it with a lot of other stuff I have here, because this team not only is based on just be bulky, it's based on timer stall first and foremost. I mean, yeah, of course, I hate that. I totally hate timer stall. I totally hate teams that doing that. But like I said, I hate Dynamax, and I wanted to give me a little challenge. So this is just a shout out to everyone who participates in Sinnoh Division. I just don't want a Dynamax. If it happens, I maybe misclicked, because it's a challenge. I want to not Dynamax and see how far I can come with that team. And I think Reggie Steele proved within the Worlds and Players Cup stuff that it is able to outstall the opponent and just to set up and end the match by his own. If you can set up it until the end, it can withstand a lot of Dynamax attacks even. So and the first pick I did was in the S. It was a Mungus. I get a lot of misunderstanding, because a lot of people thought it's not worth the S tier pick. I mean, if you would look on the normal circumstances and normal teams, I probably would agree that. But like I said, it's a very different team. Here is no offense at all. It's just about tanking, regenerating, maybe statusing the opponent, putting it to sleep, and so on and so forth. So this is the whole plan, right? And then Mungus, finally, if I look at the final team, fits pretty well. The typing fits pretty well to my overall weaknesses and resistances. um, as a switch in, switch out with the ability regenerator. I think, like I said, Fungus would be an option as well, but at the end, I could have done some switchings after the draft, but I thought like, okay, let's just take that and see what we can do with the team. Amoonguss with Regenerator is awesome. Spore, Pollen Puff, Rage Powder, Toxic Spikes even, you never know. So it has a lot of options to deal with the opponent. So Amoonguss and Reggie Steele on their own are pretty awesome in my opinion. Then we have, I think, some of the key Pokemon in this team is Crafty, because I think it synergizes pretty well with Amoonguss and Reggie Steele. Yeah, of course they have fighting type weakness, but the good thing about Crafty is he's normally pretty bulky. You have to be aware of fairy, flying, and a little bit fighting weakness, and that's it. And he brings a lot of bulk with it, with Intimidate, which is very important. But you can as well go for a setup strategy with Moxie. But yeah, Intimidate is pretty important in my opinion. And a dog type to have is pretty cool. You have Fake Out if you want to. I think it have as parting shot. I think it had parting shot as well. I'm not sure. I think so. Yeah. But yes, Null as well. So just to unarm my opponent with this one bulky Pokemon combined with the other tanks, which can set up or redirect and so on, is pretty awesome in my opinion. And a prankster Pokemon can't taunt it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, overall, and it's a very good Pokemon to get rid of Trick Room setups. Not that I don't want Trick Room, but if you want to avoid it or just trying to stop it, its Crafty is pretty solid by doing that. I mean, knock off, you can just taunt with that. You can set up with a Dragon Dance, I think, or Bulk Up, so it has some options. It's not that big of a deal because a lot of Trick Room Pokemon can't even deal with Crafty. Because normally there are Ghost or Psychic. Not only, but a lot of them. So yeah, those three alone are pretty awesome. So I asked my good buddy Lucas, Salty Sylvan, I showed him first plan and he said, hey, you should choose Aurora Wheel with you. And I thought to myself, okay, I never ever would pick Vanilla X because I hate the design. I hate its design. But because my team already is pretty ugly in my opinion, I thought, hey, okay, then it's a good point of him, right? Okay, then I will pick Aurora Wheel with Hail Setter, which gives the opposing side a little bit of more chip. You see the speed order, which is very important in my opinion as well, of course. To know the speed order is pretty good. And the Aurora Wheel gives me even more bulk. And my opponent has to consider that by team building against me. It's not only you have to calc with the bulk I have, you have to calc on top with the Aurora Wheel. Or if I want to set screens, I can do that as well. So I know it's the third weakness to fighting and fire. So you would think, okay, it's not ideal, but if you see the rest of the team, you can see that I have some team members that can pretty solid tank that weaknesses. Because the next one is Jellicent. Fighting fire, no problem at all. Then we have Mantine. Fighting fire, ground, no problem at all. And even Lantern. I mean, it has not a lot good defensive base, but the HP is pretty solid, and you can set it up as well. And combined with a Roar Wheel, it's tanky enough. So yeah, so I have 3 water types because I thought my my fire weakness is maybe too much, and the ground weakness maybe as well. So I had needed something to play around this weakness and to find some pivot options and so on and so forth. And all of them, so Jellicent and Mantine and Lantern have regeneration options with recover. I have Soak as an option. So Lantern can do some super effective damage as well. Not that it would deal a lot of damage with its base special attack or attack, but there are some ways I can do to make the thing to hit like a truck if I want to. Won't spoil everything here, but some stuff is cool here. And Jellicent has an option to strength stab my opponent, which is cool as well, to lower the attack stat, to regenerate HP, and so on and so forth. We saw a lot of times in the last season of the UGA where Jellicent just stalled out the opposing teams, and it was Jellicent on his own. So, and I have a lot of others which can do nearly the same things. I mean, Jellicent is very important for me because it's the first Trick Room setter I picked with Will-O-Wisp option, and like I said, regeneration options. I liked it a lot because it for type strategy it fit very well, because like I said, I had this fighting and fire problematic here, and fits very well for that. And then we have Mantine, just to have a Tailwind option. Not that I need it, but you never know. Icy Wind option. It can haste, so if my opponent maybe thinks, okay, a setup option would be good, or setup strategy would be good against him, so I can kind of negate his bulk, then I have haste on Mantine. And it's pretty bulky on the special side. 140 base, 85 HP, and the def is okay. I mean, especially if you think about it, I have Intimidate or Strength Stab and Will-O-Wisp combined that. It's fine, so it tanks pretty much every hit, even super special effective hits, like an electric type attack. It can tank. For example, if you put a Assault Vest on it, I can play it like an offensive Pokemon as well. But yeah, so it adds a lot of options to my team to make it more strategic, and like I said, to kind of stop setup options on my opponent's side. The Lantern is just a good T pick for me because another water type. The electric type was kind of needed because I had not a lot of stuff to deal with bulky waters. And flying types, which was a problem. So I have Lantern as well. And the cool option here is I have 3 water absorb Pokemon. So I just can even go for Surf all around. Switch out another to another Pokemon, surf, regenerate, surf to regenerate. So you get the idea. Of course, I have a lot of problems maybe when then White Guard is hitting me, but then I can taunt, or I just can do some other stuff which is not affected by White Guard. But my opponent always has to consider those options. Then we have Wigglytuff, which is tough. And Wigglytuff I picked just because I wasn't the point of the draft. I thought, okay, now I have a lot of stall, of course. Okay, and regeneration, and is that it? Is that it every week? Maybe it's kind of boring for me and even for my audience to watch it. And my opponents maybe just can figure something out to play around that pretty well, you know. And so I thought, okay, I need some more modes, at least 1, maybe 2. And at the end I ended by 2 more modes. And I thought to myself, okay, what if I put in Parish Trap to that team? And so I drafted first Wigglytuff, just because I had the option to pick Gothitelle or Gothorita. Gothitelle was more solid for me because I don't rely on the Eviolite, so I can pick up a berry or a damage reducing item, so for super effective ghost or dark type attacks. And I picked those, so Gothitelle and Wigglytuff, because it synergized pretty well if you would use the very unhonored move Ally Switch. I hate Ally Switch, I never normally would use it, but I consider to use it in this season. Just because those two are so good on synergizing with Ally Switch. Because if you want a super effective hit Gothitelle, Wigglytuff resists and immunitate, I don't know the word, it's immune to ghost and it resists dark type moves and bug type. So it's the perfect Ally Switch partner to bullet sponge some of those attacks. And Gothitelle can tank, I think, every poison and steel type move. Besides the Rand, probably, but well, I don't even know if it was picked. I don't think so. So yeah, and it's a good Parish combination because I have Gravity on the Wiggly to set up for maybe Gravity and a setup for Hypnosis Gothitelle, and then Dream Eater stuff or hack stuff, and the Wiggly can hypnosis as well. And both of them have heal pulse, so I can regenerate their HP as well again. So I am longer alive. Life Dew is an option as well if there is a Follow Me user, because it's not getting redirected by Follow Me or Rage Powder. So Life Dew is an option as well. Kind of a free Citrus Berry on both ends. So yeah, and Wigglytuff has not the best defensive stats, but if you combine it with Aurora Wheel or with screens, I mean, it has a pretty solid HP base with 140, I think. Gothitelle is not the bulkiest Pokemon as well, but like I said, if you set up screens and veil and heal it constantly, and because I have a lot of fighting weaknesses, and Gothitelle kind of matches that up, and Wigglytuff as well, it fits. It fits. So I have a Sing option of as well if I need that with Wigglytuff. And so yeah, I think those both as a Parish Trap option, maybe for the early game or switch out to the late game, and just to have it to the late game is good. It's not that big of a deal, I think, and I can do some room mechanics with both. So Magic Room, not only Trick Room, Magic Room, and so on and so forth. So I didn't even. I think I will, if I look through my team and to the strategies I can pull off. I think I will find one or two other things I can do. So I just wanna be creative with that, of course. The bulk is just one level of experience for me. So yeah, and then we had two picks left, and those were Chansey and Chuckle. How would you imagine? This is I normally wanted to pick Altaria and Turtonator, because Altaria has Parish song as well, but I thought to myself, yeah, it would be cool, not gonna lie, to have another Parish song user, but normally I better wanted Lapras on that part because it tanks more, but Altaria is good on that regard. So I thought to myself, okay, if I can use Altaria and Turtonator, it's fine, because Turtonator is cool to have a better fire matchup. And it can stall out opposing teams as well if I need to. but Altera has this 4-time weakness against ice, which I can deal with. It's not that big of a deal, and Dragon and Fairy is as well not that big of a deal, so it would have fit. But I thought to myself, okay, I kind of want a different mode. I don't want to just have a bulky team with Perish option. I want something else as well, what my opponent has to consider. So I ended up with Chansey and Chuckle. And my plan would be maybe that I can force my opponent to Dynamax early game and stall out, and then I can end this game with minimize Chansey stuff, or with just Chuckle power swap, or yeah, swap his defenses and to the partner Pokemon, which can mate with Wigglytuff as well if I want to, or with Gothitelle, or so on. So, or with Lantern. It's not only Chuckle, Chansey, but those two alone did pretty solid, even on the Players Cup level, just because they are very annoying. I mean, if you ever faced Chansey Chuckle on the ladder, you probably know. If you can stop it early game with Taunt and so stuff, or Whirlwind Roar, you're fine. You're totally fine. But if those Pokemon are maybe at the end and you have no option to deal with them, which I want to try to make that happen, so I can maybe navigate the match to that point. My opponent has no options to stop the setup options with Chansey and Chuckle. Then maybe it's game over, because if you get set up minimize, and Chuckle of course has as well contrary. So even though my opponent just maybe wants to reduce my stats, then contrary with the Dynamax attack, contrary triggers. As well goes for Snarl, Intimidate, Eerie Impulse, and so on and so forth. Contrary triggers, and Chuckle can then maybe a Brute Force, and you never know. I have these options, and I liked that. Even though I just wanted to have a second Perish Trap user, I thought the third mode would be cool, and hey, why not? I mean, I don't like the team overall, design-wise, so and mode-wise, so let's try something new. You know, I just want to give me this challenge, this anti-max challenge, to challenge myself. Can we do that well to make it to the playoffs or not? We'll see. Hopefully not all matches will be timer stall matches, so hopefully my opponents will do that much damage to me and crit me that I am not able to timer stall. It's on you, not on me. So yeah, that's the team. That's the ANTIMAX WARRIOR team for the Sinnoh division of the 3rd season of the UGA, and I'm kind of looking forward now to do that little challenge. If you want to join me as my opponent, feel welcome to not Dynamax, and we can do it together. I wouldn't even bother. So yeah, let's see how far we can go. Maybe playoffs is the goal, of course. We never reach in the UGA. The UGA is kind of one of those leagues I don't do pretty well, because the snipe potential of Wars from season 1 to season 3 very high for me. But maybe we can do with that team. We'll see. So let's have a little fun. Join me on the road to anti-Dynamax, and yeah, let's have a little fun. So I wish all of my opponents good luck, not only on Sinnoh, so as well every participant in the UGA. Love to the mods again. You do a pretty awesome job. The mods of the UGA are freaking awesome. Just big hugs and love for them. Yeah, and yeah, just looking forward, and we see us then at the first match. I don't know my opponent now, but we'll see. Okay, so bye bye. Rex is out.